Okay. So thanks, guys, for coming in. If at any time you have a question, just chime right in. I love to answer them, and I hope I can help. I'll also send you guys after the meeting a recording of another webinar that we've done on specifically the coverages that we're offering. And it's a breakdown by the quote letter of exactly what each coverage is, how to explain it to an insured, how they all fit together, et cetera. So I'll send you that for sure. And if you have any questions on coverage, you can always reach out at any time. Cyber has become something that everybody's talking about, which is good and bad. It's good because it's no longer something that people have never heard of, but the challenge comes in how you can explain to your customers that it applies to them. Every time we see it in the news, it's Marriott or Target or some company that's not, your friend down the street. And how do we explain to them that it's not that your friend down the street isn't getting hit, it's that we're just not reading about it because there are just so many cyber attacks affecting businesses today. How many? Well, roughly 50% of all small to medium sized businesses are going to be hit with a cyber breach, cyber incident, something of the kind in the next 12 months. 50%, that's 50. These things can come in a million different forms. It's not just, oh, my data got out there. It's how it's getting out there. It's money being stolen. It's 1,000 different things that are becoming more and more prevalent every single day. And I don't want to scare you guys, but to E&O proof yourself and your agency, providing the cyber quote to every commercial insured has now become an imperative.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, I'm going to show you how to do write business in our system. And while I'm going through, we'll talk about some coverage and some tips for, how to get your insured to actually purchase the coverage. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Just to point out something quickly to help you do your jobs as efficiently as possible. This orange circle in the bottom with the 3 dots that I'm just about to click on, that's our live chat system. This is for if you have a question and you need an answer quickly or you just want an answer. Go into our live chat system. The next available person in my office will pick it up and try to answer the question as fast as possible for you so that you don't waste time. Again, cyber is a vital coverage for your customers, but it is not going to be your primary premium driver for your book of business because, quite frankly, it's just not very expensive. So we want you to be able to be as efficient as possible in writing this business. And so everything that our system does is geared toward allowing you to provide the best coverage for your clients in the smallest amount of time. Okay. This is the main menu. I'm going to point out a couple of things quickly. The tools section is going to be very helpful to you guys. It's got lots of stuff that you can really use to help you do your job. For example, the marketing tools section that you see here, this is pre-made one sheets or marketing sheets with lots of different kind of content. You can use them as is. You can steal the content and put them in a different format. You can put your logo on it. You can do whatever you want with any of the one sheets in this packet that you can download. We have additional ones. If you have something specific in mind, let us know, and we probably have something that can help you. Lots of different materials that will make the sales pitch faster. Again, because this might be something that you talk about at the beginning or the end of the pitch meeting. You can leave them with something to remind them how important this is. Sample policy documents. If you ever have a question about coverage or you have a particularly savvy insured who wants a sample policy document, we have them for every single state using a drop-down menu. You just click on the state you want and then click preview and it pops up in a new window. For accounts over 100 million in revenue, they don't come around too often, but when you have them, we need a 3-page application filled out, and here's where you find it. If you're going through the application process online and you hit 100 million in the revenue question, you'll get prompted to do this anyway, but we like to keep it here for you just in case you need it. There are lots of resources out there, both pre and post cyber breach. And this little claims and resources section is one of them. The Access eRisk Hub, which is this area in the bottom, this is a pre-breach situation. You have access to the Net Diligence, which is a cybersecurity firm's basically data bank. And here's your instructions on how to log in. Here's the link, and you just click on it. It has things like a risk calculator based on records and what they do. It has claims data. It has lots of different information that's available to you should you ever want or need it. And then in the event of an incident, you have 3 resources here at the top. Number one, the most important is, and this is included in the policy form itself, every policy that we sell comes with one free hour of what they call breach coaching. So there's 3 law firms that are on retainer for Access Insurance Company. And if your insured thinks that they've had a claim, they can call one of these people, and the lawyers will get them organized, vendor selected, and deployed as fast as possible, because time is of the essence in a cyber claim. The faster you let somebody know that it's happening, the faster we can get it fixed, and the smaller the cost to actually fix it, both the insurance company and the company itself. How to report a claim is here. And then, because one of those interesting things about cyber is, it's so vast in what can actually go wrong. We have a list of pre-approved vendors that each have a specific specialty. One does just ransomware attacks. One handles social engineering issues. One does data forensics, etc. And you can always take a look and see what those are in this stop loss hub section. Questions? Okay, I will continue. So I'll show you how to do a new quote, a couple of features of the system. Every Monday, you're going to get an email from our system if you have any open accounts. It's going to break everything down into 3 sections. Number 1, accounts that are ready to renew in the next 90 days. That means they need your attention, whether it be to update the revenue number so that we can get you an accurate renewal quote, or if it's already been quoted and it's ready to be invoiced, etc. Accounts that you have already quoted that have been sitting out there for a couple of weeks, and you need to follow up with the insured to see if they want to purchase the coverage. And then finally, any accounts that have been invoiced in our system but not yet paid. And I'll get into the details on that stuff in a little bit, but don't be surprised and open that email, because it's got a lot of important content for you. So if you click on the new button from our main menu, it comes to our application. And unlike many of the applications you're going to see for cyber out there, this is a total of 6 questions. That's it. It should take you less than a minute to fill out if you have all the information. Should you ever have a question on how to answer one of these, again, the live chat's going to follow you around the whole time you're in the system. So just let us know and we'll help you. One of the things about cyber is that there is not an industry that it doesn't touch. There might be some people, like say construction workers, for example, who are less likely to purchase the coverage, but it affects them no less than anybody else. And I think this graphic of what our first question, the what do you do question, really exemplifies how many industries are really affected by cyber, and we can write it for pretty much all of them. The low-hanging fruit, as it were, the easy sales, are in healthcare. Anybody who's in the healthcare industry now knows and understands that they must have cyber coverage because of the absolute risk and the HIPAA violation costs of a data breach in their industry. Also, what we call low-hanging fruit, retail and restaurants. Anybody who swipes a credit card at a point of sale transaction should 100% have a cyber policy. It's not expensive, and they should absolutely purchase it. But some of the ones you wouldn't necessarily think about that are also really important, things like business and professional services. That's your accounting firms, insurance agencies, things like that are really gonna really have these issues. Financial services is another one. All of your banking and asset management, your personal wealth managers. And legal services, every small law firm, every defense attorney, think about the records that they have in their offices, whether it be on paper or digitally. If anything got out, a cyber policy would cover it. And manufacturing is another big one. All different kinds of manufacturing, because if machines are networked together by computers and one of those machines goes down and the manufacturing plant is unable to produce its final product, you wouldn't necessarily understand how to cover that. But if it is a computer virus that causes it, then 100% that would be business interruption coverage under a cyber policy. Let's say you have a risk and you don't know exactly how to classify them. Well, you've got two options. Again, you can jump on our live chat, which we're happy to help you with. We do that all day. Or we've built what we lovingly internally call the classification wizard, where if you click on the other, which is this bottom right question mark, we have a database of every single NAIC code that we could come up with. And you can use, if you know the NAIC code for the company, you can type it in. Or if you know what they do, let's say doctor, well, that was a bad example, but let's say medical, everything in the system is going to go through all of those and see which one makes the most sense. Is it medical equipment manufacturing? Is it, a wholesaler? Is it, medical insurance carrier? All of the different things. If you're not sure, you don't see what you're looking for, you can click on more results. You can try different things, or again, just jump right on our live chat. So I'm going to click on healthcare to show you what a doctor's office would look like. It automatically, once you find what you're looking for, you just click on that and it'll classify it exactly how it should be. And, if we don't have a classification for it, it'll just say other and it'll come to our office and we turn those around in about 30 minutes. So we ask basically the company name and the address. The only thing here is we're doing a little bit of address verification because we hook into Google. Two things: omit any unit or suite numbers, put them on this line underneath. And if for some odd reason Google can't find the address, but for a fact that's what it is, you just click on this manual entry button and you can manually enter the account address. Click on next. Revenue. We can do any revenue size from $1 to $100 million to $500 million. We have accounts of all sizes. Accounts under $100 million will get you basically instantaneous quotes. Over, and we need about 24 hours because it has to be rated. But we can do them all, and they're equally well suited and, quite frankly, pretty cheap. So let's see what $1 million doctor's office in revenue looks like. Here's our one and only underwriting question. We want to know what kind of data they have. And we break data down into three categories, which really are the three primary categories of all data. It's either healthcare records, and if you scroll over the blue text, you're going to see what it actually is with both definition and examples. So we're saying healthcare records means the total number of individuals for whom you store, process, or maintain records relating to their healthcare information. Okay, not super helpful. So let's look at examples. Medical history, medical reports, insurance information, procedure codes, or test and lab results. Now, for a doctor's office, this is a no-brainer. They obviously have a ton of these. But what about your office? An insurance office has healthcare records. If you do life and health insurance, it's going to have healthcare records for your employees because you provide insurance. So we're going to say, yes, we have healthcare records. How many? We don't need an exact number. That's a crazy thing to ask. So we have these pretty broad bands that, quite honestly, you can pretty much guess what the correct answer is. For $1 million of revenue, a doctor's office is not going to have more than 100,000 records. So you can click on that first drop down. Now we go down to the next one, personal information. This is your bank account, driver's license number, social security numbers, passwords, emails, anything like that if a system has a login. So we'll say, yep, they probably have that stuff too. And again, probably no more than 100,000. certainly not up to $1 million, so that's fine. And then finally, payment card transactions. So this is just credit card numbers and how many swipes they have annually. Most doctors' offices take credit card. And so, yes, they probably do, and they probably process less than 20,000 annually. So then we ask, are the credit cards PCI compliant? So let's scroll over that one as well. This is the federal standard for data security when swiping a credit card. There's a really easy test to know if you, as a user or your vendor, are PCI compliant. If, let's say, you use PayPal, for example, to take credit cards, you would just Google, is PayPal PCI compliant? And you will get their information. They're required by federal law to tell you if they are PCI compliant or not. I would say 99% of all credit card processing vendors are PCI compliant. That being said, if you have an insured and you figure out that their credit card processor is not PCI compliant, you should 100% advise them to switch credit card processors. Because if there were ever an issue with the credit cards and the data got out, it would cost them a fortune, absolute fortune. So I'm going to say yes, they're PCI compliant because that is most likely the correct answer. Click next. So now we're down to our final question, really, which is asked in two different ways. We basically want to know if they've ever had a data breach before. Most insureds do not currently carry cyber, and so we ask if they've ever had an actual data breach in the past 3 years. We're going to say no. If the answer is yes, we just need to know what they've done to make sure it doesn't happen again, and then we've got no problem. Cyber, unlike so many other loss scenarios, we tend to find that people who have had an incident before are quite vigilant and thus a pretty good risk in the future. And then we're asking, if you've had cyber coverage before, have you ever had a claim? Again, I'm going to say no. Now, I took a long time explaining everything, but I think you guys can see this doesn't really take very long if you're just zipping through it and know the answers. And that was the end of the process. And this is a bindable quote. So we offer 3 limit options standard. We can go up to 5 million in limits. You just need to request them, and I'll show you where to do that. But 1, 2, and 3 million limits are our standard offer. And every policy comes with all of the coverages packaged together. It's not a pick and choose. You don't have to know if your client needs this or needs that. Every coverage that's currently available, we've pre-packaged into this policy to make it easy for you to sell. So that's everything from the third-party claims, they have a data breach and all of their customers sue them. That is obviously included. But the more common things like ransomware and forensics and legal expenses, business interruption, and hot buttons like social engineering are all going to be included in this policy just from the outset at standard limit levels. And I'll show you on the quote letter how that looks. So you can view the quote letter down here. I'm just going to click on view quote letter. I'm just going to fill in some information. So this is going to show on the quote letter. Now, as soon as I click the OK button and you see this blue quote letter screen, we've already done something to help you in your process. We've emailed you, the agent who's filling out this application, with the PDF of the quote letter attached so that you don't have to waste time downloading things in our system. The idea being that if you do multiples of these a day, it's a pain. So you can search your email for the account name and find the quote letter at any time to then drag and drop into your agency management system, into an email to your insured, whatever you want to do with it, you'll just always have it readily available. You can always come in and click this print icon at the bottom of the screen to get another copy of it. It's always going to be available to you. But if you just want to leave it in your email, that's fine too. So the quote letter is going to be broken down, and you'll see for each the aggregate policy limits and retentions, and then the per claim, again, all the way through the policy for all the different coverages, just to highlight what all of these different coverages do and offer. Business interruption, for example, is broken into 2 sections. What Access calls system disruption and service disruption. Think of that more like first party and third party. So system disruption means you have you own or maintain a computer system and it goes down and you can't work, that would be system disruption. Service disruption, let me give you an example you would understand. Imagine if the nationwide computer system went down and you were unable to quote policies or people were unable to pay online for an extended period of time and you lost customers, you lost revenue, you lost accounts because of it. That would be service disruption. Anybody that you have a contractual relationship with who provides you software as a service and that software is hit with a cyber attack and thus goes down, that would be covered as well. Questions? I've thrown a lot at you really quickly. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of other interesting things about the system, and then I'll take one last set of questions. If you need additional limits, you can request it here. You click that, it'll prompt you to download the application that I showed you earlier, and you can just drag and drop it. Let's say you already had it done. You can just drag and drop a file of your choice. Let's say we're going to do, this is someone else's quote letter, and then you pick which limit you need. Let's say 5 million limits, and then you just click finish request and it goes directly to underwriting to quote for you. But more likely than not, what's going to happen is you're going to quote it and present it, and then you have to go back in to purchase it. So how do you do that? You're going to go and we offer lots of different ways for you to do any one thing. You can search the accounts here or in our search functionality, and you search for the account and you click on this view button to the left of it, and you'll see that it's quoted, it's new business. It doesn't have a policy number yet because you haven't purchased anything. And here you're going to see the basic information on the account. If you need to attach information on a claim, you can, again, drag and drop right into the system. Let's say you found out that you answered a question incorrectly, or you need to change something because something's changed. You can edit the application at any time, and you can view the quotes. Now, you can purchase right from here. If you want to go back to that page with the 3 pretty circles on it, you click on that view button. But let's say you're ready to purchase. So you click on purchase, and it'll take you here. Under $2,500 in total premium, and right now we only offer full pay. Over $2,500, and we offer quarterly or monthly installments. So let's say they choose this option. They're going to full pay because it's only $3,000. We click proceed. You're going to come to the billing screen, pick your effective date, enter in who's going to pay the bill, and their email address, and you confirm their email address, and you fill out the rest of this information and click on these little toggle buttons, and you click complete purchase. And when you do, you, the agent, and the insured are going to get an email from our system. And that email is going to have a link, a secure link for them to go in and enter in their credit card or ACH information to pay online. We don't bind coverage. The only thing we do is issue policies as soon as payment is received. So they have 14 days after the effective date to pay their bill. And if they miss that window, we can edit effective dates to give them a little bit more time to pay their bill. But really, no policy is bound. We're just going to issue it as soon as we get the money. And it means that you don't ever have to track down accounts receivable. Okay, so that's our system in a complete nutshell. Who's got questions? Coverage questions or system questions?
They're a quiet bunch today. I actually think everybody's on mute.
Goodness, I've never had that before.
I know. And I think, refresh my memory, and you may or may not know, did we go through, what's the appointment process that we have to go through? And I'm wondering if I did it when we were in North Carolina and we just put everything on the back burner. Are we already set up in your system?
If I've got your paper, I can see if I've got your paperwork or not, and I'll take a look.
Okay.
If not, I will send you the paperwork right after this call, and it takes about 2 minutes to fill it out. But as soon as I get it back, I can give you guys access to the system. And, I think you might have actually already filled it out.
I want to say that I did, but, it was November.
Let me pause my screen and I'll take a quick peek.
Okay, no problem.
Um, okay. You might be still seeing my screen. I'm going to apologize in advance.
Oh, it's all right.
I'm in my old system. I need to go into the new one, but this should do it. No. Okay. What's the legal name of the agency?
Oaks Insurance Inc.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have it. All right, so I'll send you the
Okay,
paperwork really
send
quickly
me.
after this,
Yeah.
and then
Okay, I'll take care of that today then. So.
and that'll be easy. And then everybody, basically, we have two types of users. We have agency users and agency managers. Agency manager roles really just serve two functions. Number one, they can add and remove users from the agency. So Jade,
Mhm.
we'll put you in as the agency manager. And number two
Mhm.
is to make sure that no renewals fall through the cracks in case somebody isn't in the office for a period of time.
Right.
They are going to see all renewals for the agency rather than just their own.
Correct. Okay.
You
Perfect.
can have as many agency managers as you want. You can set everybody up as an agency manager if you wanted. Um, but you have complete control over how all that works. And I'll send
Okay.
you with the details.
Okay. Sounds great. So, and that'll give, once we get signed on, that'll give everybody a chance to kind of go in and check out the system on their own and see, if they have any questions on anything. So we'll
Absolutely.
go from there.
Absolutely. And you can reach out to me guys at any time if you have any questions. And I'm going to follow up with the webinar on coverage, which really is helpful if you have 20 minutes to really deep dive into the coverage. It uses the quote letter as a roadmap, like I said. So it
Mhm.
it really does help. And we love to help in any other way that we can to help you guys get quoting and writing business and how to talk to
Mhm.
customers about cyber and how to bring it up and all those things. So you can
Yeah.
always come to me with any questions. I'm always happy to
Okay,
help.
great. Great. And I think that follow-up webinar will be very helpful for them too. So this is new to all of us.
It's new to everyone.
So
It's
it's
before now it was large companies only,
right.
selling through, buying cyber insurance from cyber specialists at like the big alphabet agencies. And now it's everybody. And honestly, I've heard so many stories of agents just like you guys saying, I went to my local veterinary clinic and asked them if their current agent was selling cyber. And when I explained that, how important it was, I got the whole account because they were pissed
Mhm.
off that their previous agent wasn't
Mhm.
talking to them about it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Is
yep,
everybody still out there? I don't know where they
Yep, we're
are.
here. I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
Tuesdays.
Not
Never
worried.
heard of that.
Okay. I just wasn't sure.
No,
So,
it was very good presentation. Thank you.
Of
Very
course,
helpful.
I'm happy to. And again, let me know if there's anything I can do. I'll send you also this recording as soon as it's ready, and
okay. Perfect.
you'll have it for your records.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.
thank you. I
And
look
I'll get
forward to
that
working with
paperwork
you.
back to you. Yep.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Ellie.
you.
Thank you. All right.